Hey you guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Steven, accompanied by Queen Taylor, and today we're going to be taking a look at Manic Street Preachers. If you tolerate this, your children will be next. We have no context, no nothing. This actually won one of our polls on Patreon for what to react to next, and this won by a lot. So yeah, I'm really curious to see what this is all about. And again, no context. We're going into this completely blind. I've never heard of this band before.
Me neither. I know it's a Welsh band because one of our Patreon members did say that,
and it was released in 1998. So I don't know what was going on with the world in 1998, but I heard that this was very politically charged.
Yeah,
for that time period. So let's see if it holds up. You guys, let's hop on over the music video and let's get started. Cool.
Teaches you to be alone, the present to be afraid and cold. So if I can't shoot rabbits, then I can't shoot fascists. Bullets fly our brain today, but we'll forget it all again. Monuments put front pen to paper turns me into a godless wonder. And if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. And if you tolerate this, then your children will be
What's going on? Oh, so I heard something about fascists.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talking about like,
if I can shoot rabbits, then I can shoot fascists, I think is what he said.
Yeah. So I was like, oof. Because my mind immediately takes me to like Mussolini and Hitler.
Yeah.
In World War II. And then it's like, if you tolerate this, your children will be next.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's the rise of like Hitler is what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
I don't know why their faces are.
Yeah,
this music video is
let's
trippy.
See that again.
I'm gonna back it up. There's a lot to unpack here.
And if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. We'll be next. We'll be next. We'll be next. Gravity keeps my head down, or is it maybe shame?
Wow.
Being so young and being so
They're just scanning their faces. Because I was, as the video, especially with the kids here, I was like, they have, I've seen this somewhere else where there were, I forget what, like the premise of it, where their faces were melted like that. And it was like the signify like a identity crisis almost, like not to see colors and everybody's the same type deal. But for this, I think, especially with the lyrics, and really the chorus when they're talking about if you tolerate this, your children will be next. And it seems to me they're talking about something like, because the children are doing mundane things. The parents, they all seem like they're in their own little world. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like, how do I say this? They're desensitized, especially with like technology and things like that maybe they're desensitized to their situation.
Yeah, I mean, that could be. I was taking it as, because it's like their eyes, their mouths, and their ears. So I was taking it, especially with the line, if you tolerate this, your children will be next, was almost like a, when you go to certain places, like we went to the mall today, and it's like, if you see something, say something type thing. Like if you see somebody stealing, call the mall security type similar. So it's almost like if you turn a blind eye, nothing's going to happen. Like you have to do something about it for things to take change, is like what I was getting from it. Yeah. Like if you're hearing all these things that are happening that are not good, but you don't do anything about it and you're not speaking up and you're just watching things happen, then it's going to stay the same. And then your children are going to go through this.
Yeah. It almost reminds me of Mike and the Mechanic Silent Running a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. You ready?
Yep. I'm lost on that bit.
I'm going to blow your mind with that bit. Yeah, the typical suburban family, just all...
Wow.
And then it goes into my favorite band and one of my favorite songs, Invent Animate Boys. Oh, this is good. Just give it a second. All right. This is a good song. Check out Invent Animate Fireside. But, okay, you ready? I was thinking about it. You mentioned having like a blind eye to certain things. And I remembered back in the beginning of the song, they were talking about fascism. So I'm thinking more bigger.
Okay.
Bigger. Like, and we were told that this was like a politically motivated thing. So I'm like, okay, fascism. This whole song is about fascism.
Yeah.
And this whole song is about the rise of fascism. And that I feel like my thought about the whole scanning thing was a materialistic. So if you look at the facade of the whole thing, if you look at the landscape of it, you have suburban household families, what that was supposed to be depicted of. And their faces are melted because they're desensitized from the reality of what's going on because they drank the Kool-Aid and they're living in this utopia that their government or whatever, kind of like what, World War II is all about, right? So they're like not understanding what's going on.
Yeah. They're like numb to it all.
They're numb to it all, or they're ignorant to it all because of the propaganda that their government is feeding to them. But they're not like reading in between the lines. And I think it's
like that. Sorry to interrupt you really quick. It's remind what you just said specifically made me think of that movie that you watched with your mom and brother-in-law with the families that were living in that. I didn't watch it, so I don't know the full premise, but they were living in that thing. And, you know, like the husbands would all go to work and all the wives would get up and cook and clean all day long. Oh, yeah. And it was kind of that same cycle. And then the one woman found something and broke out of it, but they were all like,
they were in like a simulation.
They were in like some type of like, hypnotism type thing. Yeah. So it kind of reminded me of that you said.
I forget that movie, but that was a good. Yeah, that's good. I feel, and I hate to just wear politics on my sleeves because I really think that the scanning thing was our obsession with materialistic things, and it's like humanity's getting lost in bullshit like that. And you're kind of being shielded, or you're kind of glossed over, desensitized. You're turning a blind eye to the fascism that we're going through. And I think that this video is so prevalent to what's happening today in America.
Yeah, I agree.
If you think about it. So, you know, fascism at its core is basically anti-democracy, but they always have a xenophobia and some kind of scapegoating of, you know, Hitler had freaking, you know, everybody had to be white and blue, or blue eyes, blonde haired, white, you know, you couldn't be Jewish. And with America, you can't be an immigrant. You can't be, you know, brown skinned. And you see the scapegoating happening with these immigrants that, you know, migrated over to America, and you see them being a target or a scapegoat for a political overreach, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's very prominent in today's world. And I don't even know that it's just America. Obviously, we live here, so we know what's happening here, but I think there's probably other places out there that would say that, you know, it's relevant to where they are at the moment as well. Or that's interesting what you say about materialism. I didn't gather that. I don't quite know what I thought it was, but I noticed that they had almost like they were attached to like those cord type things. And I don't know if that was just to be something kind of funky or if there was a meaning behind it. But between that and the scanners, I thought maybe it was kind of depicting on, oh, if you don't do anything, this is the life that it's going to be. We're going to be living in these bubbles and we're going to be hooked up to these machines kind of type feeling is what it gave me. But that whole bit was very... just lost on me.
Yeah, them playing in it seemed like a very sterile and sanitized, you know, place.
Yeah, like we're all living in these facilities, and I don't know. That I would like to know if anybody knows what.
But I would definitely compare it to how America is right now, because we have a president that does whatever he wants. You know, he throws in tariffs, and so what I will say is, we witness a lot of riots. We've witnessed a lot of protests. Even here in our small town, there's protests.
Yeah, we just passed one.
We just passed
like yesterday or 2 days ago.
So I feel as though the American political climate is so fucked because both parties are just as bad. So there's not like a good libertarian option there.
And they're both just constantly at each other's throats, and it's just...
Well, and they're both corrupt as all hell. So there's not like a good... Yes, one's better than the other. But unfortunately, you know, with 80,000 people or 80 million people, we didn't cross the finish line. So that's why Trump's involved, and Trump's president. And you see some of the actions that he's taken, like... People saying that he's fascist isn't far-fetched.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole Doge thing, the whole, you know, issues with migrants, the overreach, the Roe versus Wade stuff. It's like you're taking little liberties away from Americans, and even with the wars, you know? But I digress. I don't want this to be a political
I feel like if you keep going, it's gonna...
I feel like if I keep going, I really don't want it to be
this could be a very long...
shit show about America, because I feel like every country has its own problems, and I feel like the message of this is to look at fascism in the face and reject fascism, identify it, and don't be blind to the propaganda by your government, because your government's there to fuck you.
Yes.
But anyways, you guys, let us know down in the comments what you thought. Is this song still prevalent for today? I think so.
I think so
It
as well.
was, and it actually, it's kind of crazy because this was made in 1998. I don't know what year it was pertaining to. Like, I don't know what sparked this, like what was going on back then.
I don't either.
That fascism was on such a rise that it required, this kind of anthem. But it's
a Welsh band, so I would guess maybe something to do with Wales.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know the history of what that could be. Just, I mean, maybe not though.
But it's
that could just be coincidence.
It's one of those things where it's like insert it here and it's true.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
It's relevant. And I was also like the scanners and stuff like that. That's what made me think about the materialistic thing, because I'm trying to think of like the time period of when this was created, but it's still a barcode scanner.
Yeah.
We still use those things, but I digress. We're done here, you guys.
It's 4-minute video and it's now 45.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave down in the comments what you thought of the song. Are we just way the fuck off? Like, are we way off?
There's a good chance.
Did we miss the premise of the song? Unless it's just the way I interpret it, and it really doesn't matter. But
I mean, I interpreted it basically the same as you.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Hunger Games. But I digress. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.